Hi, in this video we're going to show you how to clone your Windows system drive so you could use it on another disk and still have it bootable. So this comes in handy if, let's say, your drive is failing or you want to upgrade to a larger or faster drive and you don't want to reinstall Windows and all your programs and then copy all your files back. But I will say before cloning a drive, you should make a backup of your files just in case something goes wrong. All right, so let's take a look at the drives on this computer and see what we're working with. So go to Disk Management. All right, so we have our disk 0 here, which has our C drive, which is about 64 gigs. Then we have a 100 megabyte EFI system partition and a 710 megabyte recovery partition. And we have this 100 gigabytes of unallocated space. So we're going to clone this drive onto this larger drive. So the program we're going to use is called Macrium Reflect. So let's open that up. Okay, so this program used to be free, but it's not anymore. But it'll cost you about $50 a year. But they do have a 30-day trial. So if you just need to do a one-time clone, as long as you do it within 30 days, you should be able to do it for free. All right, so here is our C drive here. And here is the blank drive here with the 100 gigabytes unallocated space. And if you find something like this where you have a hidden partition that you need to get rid of, you could actually do that in the next step. So let's uncheck this, go back here, click on Clone this disk, select a disk to clone. Okay, so we could delete this partition right here if we want to get rid of it, like so. All right, then we're going to click on Copy Partitions to copy all these partitions over. And this is an important step. If you're going to a larger drive, you want to choose the option to shrink or extend to fill the target disk. Otherwise, you're going to end up with some unallocated space. That will be the difference between the smaller drive and the larger drive. So most likely you're going to want to use the whole disk. So I'm going to click on this option here. So now you can see we have matching partitions here, but our C drive, our primary drive here, this one is still 64 and this one is 99. So it'll just have more free space when we're done. All right, so we're going to click on Next. So you can add a schedule if you want. So if this is something you're going to do on a regular basis, but probably not going to be the case when it comes to cloning. Then we have some advanced options here. So the default is to perform an intelligent sector copy. And then the other option is to perform a forensic sector copy. All right, then we have some shutdown options. So after the clone is done, do you want to have it shut down or reboot? We're just going to leave it as is. Click on Finish. And now you could save the definition file in case you're going to run this job again, but you're most likely not going to. So I'm just going to check it here. Click on OK. All right, so now the clone has started. So this will take some time. And then you have some options here, what to do after cloning if you want to shut down or restart and so on. All right, so I will pause the video and then be back when the clone process is done. All right, so the clone is complete. It only took about 4 minutes. So click OK, close. Now you can see we have both drives here looking the same. And let's see what disk management looks like. All right, looks good too. We have our larger drive here. It's labeled E right now because this drive's still the main drive here. All right, so let's close out of this and this. All right, so what I'm going to do now is shut down the computer and take out the smaller 64 gig drive and then make the 100 gig drive the primary drive, and then we'll boot up to that and see what happens. All right, so far looking good. We've got our Windows logo. Okay, login screen. All right, so we're on our desktop. Let's open Disk Management again. All right, so as you can see, we have our 100 gigabyte drive here, and the 64 gigabyte drive is no longer in there. And we have our CD-ROM, and everything looks good. All right, so once again, just open up the program after you install it. And then go to clone this disk, but of course I can't do it again because I don't have a secondary disk in this computer any longer. But if so, you would just pick the drive, make sure you choose the option to expand the size of the disk, unless you don't mind having some extra unallocated space when you're done. But then, of course, you could expand that later, most likely. But if you plan on using the whole disk, I would just do it during that step, like I mentioned before. And just go through the rest of the steps, wait for it to finish, and then you could remove the old drive. Or if you want to keep the old drive, you could just change the boot order or swap the cables depending on what type of drive you have for your source and your destination, and take it from there. All right, so I'll put a link in the description where you could download Macrium Reflect and you could try it yourself. All right, thanks for watching and be sure to subscribe.